Hey everyone, sorry I haven't been on the channel for a while. We're going to learn the Rubik's Cube today, and I'm going to show you the 3x3 first, and maybe the 2x2 or 4x4 in future videos. Quick thing about the cube I'm using: this is a Diane stickerless cube. I highly recommend it. I'm not sponsoring them directly, they're not paying me to do this, I just really like their cube. The corner cutting ability is very nice. It's better than any cube I've ever used, any other cube I've used, and I really like the feel of it without stickers. Now before we get into the main solving, I just want to quickly show you what the center of the cube looks like. This is the foundation of the cube, it's called the core. And from this you can see much more clearly than you could before that yellow is always opposite white, orange always opposite red, blue always opposite green. I just wanted to show you that before we get into the main solving, because it'll kind of help you as you're solving in the future. Just kind of always knowing where other sides are is always helpful. There is notation that you should learn before solving it, but I'm going to get into that in a later part of the video. The first part I'm going to teach you is how to solve the first two layers. I'm going to go ahead and scramble this up. So the first goal is to get a white cross, and you want to get the edges paired up with the sides. So for example, this orange one, that's good, but we want to get it right here so it's in between the orange and the white face. We would get this red one here, we can turn it down like that. You see now it's on the right face, but it's right beside this and it needs to be over here. So we can turn it back up out of the way, turn this, and turn this back down, and now these two are opposite each other, so when we turn it back it actually lines it up with both of them. Same thing with this, we know this needs to move to right here, so we can turn it here, turn this, and then line that up just like that. And then our blue and white is right here, and we just need to turn like this, and like this. So get into the mindset of, as you're solving the cube, realize that messing up the cube for a little bit is okay in order to get a piece into position. So, you know, you can turn something like this as long as you know that you're going to be able to turn it back and still have it in the right place. And now you're going to look at getting these corners into place. Basic thinking about the corners: if you're wanting to get this corner right down here, right, we would need to turn it like this and bring it back here, and you can see what we did there was turned it, and so we rotated the top, which was the white, and now it's on the side, and now we can turn like this, bring it in line with the red, and drop it into position. Again, this is kind of a common sense sort of thing. There's really not a whole lot of algorithms involved, and you're just figuring out how to do it. So if the white is on this side, we could turn like this, bring it into line there, and drop it into place. This is the way that most people learn to solve the cube, is by putting the corners in first, just like this, and we could put that one in there, just like that. And so we have the first layer done. However, I think solving this way is actually a bad idea. I learned this way and then realized later, you know, this isn't really the best way to learn. The best way to learn is to put in the corner and the edge at the same time. Normally, in a standard solving sequence, you would put in all the corners first, and then put in these edges. You could drop them in later. But to me, it's a lot faster to do it the other way, and it just seems more intuitive. So, for example, let me put this paired up with this and drop them both in. So the first step is to just get that out of the corner. You'll notice me a lot is I'm turning these corners. Never be afraid to turn the corner that you're putting it into. So I'm always going to turn the corner that is between the green, orange, and white faces. The reason is, maybe we've already finished this corner. So if I were to turn it this way, now this is exposing it to the rest, and if I turn, it breaks stuff up that I don't want broken up. But if I turn this corner, I know these two pieces have to come out, so it's not a problem. These two are, the tops are opposite colors, it needs to be switched. So I'm going to bring it over here, and the goal is to move this corner over to right here. So I'm going to drop this corner out of the way of the top, just hide it down there, and now turn this and bring it back up. So you'll see I effectively just moved this over to here. Now I can turn this back here, and you'll see when I turn this, now it actually lined those up, and I can turn it back like this and down, just like that. And so now you have this corner done. Next I can, let's see, what should I do next? I'll do this one, this red and blue. So I'll bring this up out of the corner, and you'll see now that they're both the same color. The way you do this is bring it over here, bring this to right beside where it's going to come up, and now they're the same. And now you can bring it over there and put it in. So again, find your corner. This is the corner we don't care about. Move this to right there, here, just like that, and drop it in place. So that's the way to solve the first two layers. And let me scramble the top here again and go through another solving set of that, just so you can see what I might do in different situations. You know, different things. So we're back to the cross here, and everything else is scrambled. I'll pick the red and blue here since it's kind of easy. We'll just turn it right above the corner, and we know when we turn this, you can do that. So they're kind of the two basic things you're looking for. You either want, if it's opposites, you want to put this in the corner and be able to turn, line it up, and drop it. Or if they are the same, like these two, you want to be able to drop it, line it up, and then put it in. So it's kind of two different ways, and everything else is just ways of moving the pieces around to get a different situation. So like this, I need to split up those two. So I could drop this out of the way, turn that like that, and now put it over there, drop it out of the way, and line it up with that when it comes up. And there's that. That one's already solved, and we're good. So like I said, solving these first two layers is very common sense. There's not a whole lot of real algorithms involved. A lot of it is just looking at the cube, using logic, figuring out, okay, what makes sense in this situation, which way is the best way to do it. And I'll scramble this one more time. I want to show you a couple things now that are useful information to have, just good things to know. So if this piece, if this edge is already where it needs to be, and this one is face up, you'll see this one is kind of inverted relative to where it needs to be. That's actually not all bad. And the reason is because of finger tricks. Finger tricks, you'll see me kind of already using a combination of them, but when you're turning things by just flicking, you're not actually grabbing the whole side and doing this, you're just turning and flicking. It makes things much faster, and you can use both. Like if you were turning this counterclockwise, you could use this finger right here, and if you're turning it clockwise, you'd use this finger, just like that. If you're turning it twice, you can use two fingers there. And so the reason this is good is because of the ability to do finger tricks. Now the moves are longer, but if you just keep doing this, it solves it. Let me put that back the way it was, just like this. So that move is turning this way, this way, this way, this way. Just keep repeating that exact same thing. And boom, you're solved. It's a simple sequence, and it's something that you will save a lot of time on if you just see little things like that that you can pick up on. The other thing is, try to line things up if you can, if they're already together, or can be easily put together, no matter where they are on the cube, because you know that it's going to be easier to do that later if they're already together. Like this one, I just have to bring it out of there first, bring it over here, line it up, drop it in. This is where you need to know the algorithms and the notation for those algorithms. The first two layers were fairly simple relative to this, as far as you don't really need to memorize the sequences, you just need to memorize the situations. Here, you can't really just wing it on solving this top layer. It's complicated because you have to leave the rest of the cube the way it is. So I'm going to be teaching you the different algorithms you need and the different steps you're going to take to solve this top layer of the cube. Some notation you need. First of all, each side has a different letter associated with it. This is true for all cubing, and all 3x3s use this exact same notation. The right side is labeled capital R. The front side, capital F. Left side, capital L. Top side, capital U. When a letter is, if it's just R, we say that that means a clockwise rotation of that face. So if it was capital L, you would turn the left face this way, so from this side it would be turning it this way. A capital R with an apostrophe after it means you're supposed to turn it counterclockwise, like this. Or F with an apostrophe, like this. L apostrophe, this way. And when we say that out loud, we say R prime would be this way, and an R would be this way. Same thing for U. This is a U. This is a U prime. U, U prime. U, U prime. R, R prime. F, F prime. L, L prime. The first goal is to get an X here. It doesn't matter what the corners look like, you're just focused on the X. Kind of the same as when you're getting the white X. There are two different algorithms required for this. One is for edges that are beside each other, like this. And the other one is for a line, like this. So the algorithm for a line is F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. And that got the X. And you'll notice that this R, U, R prime, U is a very fluid motion, especially if you're using finger tricks. You can do that motion very fast. And to solve this, you just line up the line. So it's like this: F, R, U, R prime, U, and boom, done. So that R, U, R prime, U is a sequence that we try to use in many algorithms because it is so fast. So there are many algorithms that are actually modified from their original state. Might be technically shorter when it's written out, but in terms of moves, it's faster. That's why if you were to look at this situation right here, that R, U, R prime, U, R, U, R prime, U, R, U, R prime, that's a very fast motion, and in terms of time, it's probably better than many other things that you could have done there. So back to the top. When you have that line, it's just that R, F, R, U, R prime, U, F prime. For this, where it's two edges beside each other, you turn both front and this middle layer. In notation, the way that's written is lowercase f, which means both layers. So then you do the exact same algorithm. R, U, R prime, U, F prime, and now you have the cross again. Now there are some different things here, different situations that you're going to get on the top, and the goal is to turn everything so that it's all yellow on top. Different things you're going to look for. How many corners are face up? I'm going to show you ones where it's no face up first, and that'd be like this. If it's like this, you're going to turn so that a yellow is pointing to the left and perform this algorithm. R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. That U2 was new, but it just means turn twice. That same algorithm can be used to solve the entire top for all of yellow. If you have one corner, you're going to put it in this bottom corner and apply the algorithm. R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. Sometimes when it's in the corner and you perform the algorithm, it's still not solved. So you have to bring it back down to the corner again and do that again. This one, where it's two corners, if it's two corners, you want to point it to the front, just like this. Perform that, and now you're familiar with that. Look, turn to the corner, do this. I want to show you the difference. You'll notice that some of these have taken twice in order to get this solved from this position, and some have taken once. The difference is the way that these yellow faces are pointing in each of the corners. So what this algorithm basically does, when you take this and you go like this, ignoring what happens to the rest of it, it takes each corner and spins it, essentially like this. That's why if you start with 2 clicks back, pointing out to the sides like this, now it's going to take 2 in order to solve that. So if you were to have it this way, now it only takes 1, because it only takes 1 spin to get that to work. Now let me show you this one. There's actually a shortcut for solving this. I did not learn this originally. Most people do not learn this in the first time they solve, but I do think it's such an easy algorithm, you might as well learn this one now too. This one, when it needs to take 2, you put this yellow corner up in the back first, and you apply the algorithm we just did exactly backwards, which would be like this. R, U2, R prime, U prime, R, U prime, R prime. Okay, so forward looks like this. Backwards is just like this. And so that's why when you have this situation, you could either solve it forwards twice or turn it back here and just do backwards once. You'll notice that time when I did it, I went this way for the U2. That's because U2 is going to end up over here. It's going to turn twice, so it doesn't matter which way you turn it. And for me, finger flicking is faster with my right hand, so I would rather turn it this way and then turn it back, rather than turning it this way and then turn it back. But as far as the actual effect on the algorithm, it has absolutely no difference. So there we go. So now we're working on this corner pairing. We've got the top done, and you'll see that none of these corners are where they need to be relative to each other. So our goal is to get 2 that are the same. Since we don't have any of the same, we just need to apply this algorithm in order to get it. So the algorithm is lowercase l prime, u, r prime, d2, r, u prime, r prime, d2, r2. And as you're doing that R2, you can kind of turn the cube back to face up. Now if you look around, you'll see that we have one edge that's done, or just one set of corners that's done. So now I'll turn it around and do it again. It's like this, and I'll show you as I'm doing this with finger tricks. You would use index finger of my right hand to do that, and then pass it down here. I'll use actually my ring finger on my left hand to flick twice there, and do that, there, and back up. Now we have all the corners all where they need to be. I'll show you just one more time. I always line it up if I have that edge, I line it up with the right color. And I'll show you why when I'm done with this solve. So it's this lowercase l prime, u, r prime, d2, and with that I use my ring finger back here, and also sometimes I use my ring finger here. You can do either way. I typically use my left hand, but you could use it either way. And then I just turn R, U prime, R prime, D2, and then R2 as you straighten up the cube, and then add in a U prime at the end. The reason I do the U prime at the end is because now they're guaranteed to all be the same, assuming you started with it lined up correctly at the beginning. So that's why I do it that way. So now you have all the corners are where they should be. In this case, we have one edge that's even where it needs to be, and these three are the only things that need to move. So this is step 7, and it's this algorithm here. R, U prime, R, U, R, U prime, no sorry, U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R2. Do that again. R, U prime, R, U, R, U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R2. And so you'll see when I do this again, I'm going to do this a second time, that this edge moves to here, this edge moves to here, and this edge moves here. So it's kind of this counterclockwise motion. Just like that. And now the red is here. And if we apply this one more time, now it's solved. Just like I did with the top solving, I'm going to go ahead and show you another algorithm I think is good to know. And that is for when you have, it actually needs to go clockwise, not counterclockwise here. You can do this algorithm twice, and it means like this blue would move here on the first algorithm and then here on the second algorithm, so it works. But if you apply this very same algorithm in exact backwards, just like we did with the other one, then it's going to work a little bit faster, and it's not really a hard algorithm to learn. So you're going to do R2, U, R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime. Now I want to split that up into a couple sequences, because I think that that is a very maybe complicated algorithm to read, but it's actually not if you split it up into a couple things. First of all, do the R2 and the U first. Now you have this R, U, R prime, U that we talked about. Okay, so that part can be done very quickly. You can just do a very fast boom, and now you do this R prime and a U prime, and then you can do this sequence, which is R prime, U, R prime, but it's a very fluid. You kind of do this and then bring the top with you as you go, and it can be done very quickly, just like that. So let me go ahead and reverse this. Okay. R2, U, that, this, and then that fast move. So you have a couple different ways of solving that now.